Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. I'm George Onyibe, and of course, based on my location, I may not have been able to come online for some hours now. But then it is imperative that in a dicey situation like this, that we keep our people abreast, update them of what is actually going on. That is why I titled this message, is that we cannot forget the Igbo tactics of blackmailing, insulting, eventually killing. At the end of the day, they will turn around and begin to blame other people for the very crime they have committed against others. Actually, we have been raising a campaign, and we will continue to raise this campaign and awareness about the activities of certain group of IGBOS across Nigeria. Two things led me to make this broadcast at this very hour. Number one was the character of Igbo people coming to your platform to insult you. There are things we need to remind ourselves. Once you say something that is not in favor of Igbo people, once you say something that these Igbo people may not agree with, you see them flood your platform. They begin to call you names like illiterate, criminal, hungry man, and so on and so forth. They have the reason why they are doing that. Number one is to belittle you, make people see that you are irrelevant. Number two is to make it look as if, in fact, it's the same thing, to make you look irrelevant, so they come out and insult you. Go to my comment section. You will see 90% of anybody that will say anything negative, all of them are Igbo. And somewhere along the line, some people will say, forget about them, forget about them. Honestly, I pity for Igbo people, because each time I look around them, I pity them, because many of them are not part of this criminality. But then many of them are not doing anything to help. As I'm speaking to you, I'm in my father's compound in Abo. And majority of the people living there are all Igbo people on charity. And each time I sit back and I look at them, majority of them are innocent of these things. But this will not make us to feel that we do not know the Igbo agenda against all other ethnic groups in Nigeria. And then this evening, trying to of course, monitor what is happening on social media to know the next slide they want to introduce, I ran across a post of Rhino Mokri. And in that post, he was reminding us what led to Igbo coup. What led to Igbo coup. And Rhino Mokri said everything that was true, except that he lied by saying that Chukwuma Kaduna Zogo is an Igbo man. This is not the time we tell story. Hausa, Yoruba, and people like Rhino or Mokri should stop calling Anyoma people Igbo people, because we are not Igbo people. If we were used by Igbo people, now we have learned the truth. Igbo cannot use us again. Now let us come back to this issue I want to remind you. There was a time in Nigeria, Sir Ahmadu Bello granted a press interview to the BBC. We called it hate speech. And he said the Igbos are a kind of people that when you allow them in a camp, for instance, they would do everything necessary to emerge as the captain, as the chief. He said because of this, the Igbos are the ones who are benefiting from Nigeria across the region. He said, but now that we are here, we will make sure that it will not happen. And that is the essence of the short broadcast that Ahmadu Bello made. But in that same Rhino Omokri post, he outlined some of the reasons Ahmadu Bello made that post. He said because the Igbo people are the one who like to go to other people's village. But surprisingly, they don't allow other people to have the same access in their village. Is it not concerning? Everywhere, every corner in Nigeria, you are seeing Igbo people scavenging everywhere. But the same thing they do in other people's village, they won't allow you to do that in their village. Imagine if we are somewhere in Enugu, somewhere in Abia State, somewhere in their supposed 5 plots, and then we are doing meeting, the gathering of Anyoma people to celebrate Anyoma King in Igbo land. Imagine if Yoruba people decide to block road and make noise that they are bringing Egugu of Yoruba masquerade to celebrate in Onitsha. Imagine if Hausa Fulani say that they want to come and display their culture and tradition in one of these states in the southeast, supposed Igbo state. Igbo people will let hair loose. And so, considering this, it boils down to my mind what we have been fighting against, what we are trying to prevent. Igbo people virtually took over every civil sector in Nigeria. Igbo people were everywhere in Nigeria. Igbo people were scattered everywhere, controlling people. And everybody thought it was normal. You know, after Ahmadu Bello made that speech, they struck the Igbo coup, leaving the Hausa people dead, leaving the Yoruba people dead, and then leave their own. Now, you will see that the habit of these expansionists, this very group of Igbo people, they have not changed. Today on social media, you see them everywhere. They are trying to claim Ikure by all means. They are trying to claim Anyoma by all means. They have created what they know as sub-Igbo. That is why I started by telling all of you, calling Anyoma people Igbo people, you must desist from it. Hausa and Yoruba that promoted it, that we are Igbo people, you must desist from it. Because this is how they told Chukwuma Nzogo, who is a Benin migrant, that is an Igbo man, because he bear names similar to that of Igbo people. And today, some people say it's Igbo man, some people say it's not Igbo man. But it is heartening when Nigerians say that Ikwere is Igbo, and Anyoma people, Eka people, Ndokwa people, Osimiri people, Anyocha people, that we are Igbo. It is disheartening. Now, these Igbo people are everywhere in our village. And some of you think it's normal. I would have said it's normal if the same privilege they enjoy in our community, that they allow us to enjoy the same in their community. Igbo people practically were everywhere in Zungeru, the British office, administrative office in Nigeria. They were everywhere. This gave them right to take over the life of the people. This gave them the room to do what they are doing. They are still doing the same coup. But you see how they hide? They will tell you that they hate us. They are Igbophobia. And most of the people in the line of defending this, their criminality, are not even Igbo. Or maybe mixed blood. The real criminals will hide behind and be telling you that Benin do this. No, take time and look at how they are trying to turn Asian people against Benin people. Look closely and see how they are trying to turn Benin people against Yoruba people, or Yoruba people against Benin people. I want you to observe them, how they are trying to turn Anyoma people against each other. Begin to ask yourself, why are Igbos so desperate everywhere in our community, in our land? Why are they everywhere eating and drinking and relaxing? The same opportunity, the same privilege they will not give to us. They will say it's one Nigeria. And this broadcast, this fear, this conspiracy is what made people like Ahmadu Bello to make that interview and said we cannot allow it to happen. And when Igbo people are supposed to respect themselves, respect culture and tradition, respect the people's space they occupy, Igbo people carry out coup. If I tell you that they are not carrying out coup to attack us, they lie. They're making effort to assassinate me, but they will never be able to do that, because that will be the last thing they will do. And I'm sure if they know that the killing of Ahmadu Bello and other northern elite for speaking the truth will bring them where they are now, they would not have tried it. And so those of you who are looking for how to get to us, do not worry, because that will be the last thing you will do. But for my fellow Nigerians, this group of Igbo people, some say they come from Equatorial Guinea, some say they come from Israel. This group of Igbo people, are you going to watch them before your very eye take over our life? I want you to check what Igbo people are doing in Nigeria. Is any tribe doing it? All these years, they talk about Fulani headsmen, Boko Haram terrorists. But the truth is still, this issue is shrouded in mystery. Because each of these times this thing happen, you must see Igbo man there. You know, in my compound in the village, I live in the outskirts of the town. And I visited one of my relatives. And he was telling me, you living there? I said, yes. He said, they say that place is a Boko Haram base. I didn't say anything. I smiled. He said, so your house is close to so house? I said, yes. He said, that is where Boko Haram used to camp. But I must tell you the truth. The northerners I have seen in my village, I've not seen Fulani man in my village. Not even Katoriera. I've not seen typical Hausa man in my own side of Agbo village. But I see people like Adamawa, you know, all these tribes that are not actually Hausa, who are just farmer. And majority of them I know are there with their wives. We call all of them Hausa. We know they are not Hausa. And how could they say these people are the one kidnapping us? You see, the same way, Ahmadu Bello saw these threats and began to call on the world, begin to mobilize his people. That is the same way I am calling Ikure people, Okwane people, Eka people, Anyocha people. All of you Igbo people are trying to drag into this thing. Don't do it. They are almost perfecting their alignment. In Ikwiri now, they're trying to harness and take advantage of Senator Mbata. Don't forget how this story will end. In Anyoma Aziz, they are trying to harness and make use of Senator Nedi Moku. And then they are in Asia looking for any gullible Asian person they can use. And when it happens, they will have a shield as they always have a shield. Ahmadu Bello simply said, why be that this Nigeria, everything, first teacher, Igbo man, first tailor, Igbo man, first criminal, Igbo man, everything, Igbo man, Igbo man, Igbo man, even in other people's region. Look at Nigeria University, for instance. All the first chancellors, all of them are Igbo people, except one. And that is because Hausa people know this truth. Ahmadu Bello practically say, you see that university, University of Ahmadu Bello, Igbo man never. That is the only university that was not controlled by Igbo in the first era of our one Nigeria. But it looks like what happened in the name of Nigerian civil war has not taught them lesson. They are starting the same thing again. Remember, we are going through the study I titled These Four Orders. And not until we see that they are not threats, it's our duty to continue to come online and warn our people. Minority, as they call you, beware of the Igbo people. Now understand, I told you, there are a lot of Igbo people who are innocent about this, but this will not stop the fact that they are part of the same Igbo system that is working hard among themselves to destroy other tribes. As most of you are sleeping, they are having different secret meetings in your community. They are carrying out different rituals and criminal activities in your community. You can imagine this kind of night is when they sneak from community to community that they are doing Igbo unification. But we were not quarreling before now. And you see what the Igbo people will do later on? They will start coming to this platform now and start insulting me so that you think, don't mind that guy. don't do this. You cannot trust Igbo people until they open their region to other Nigerians to flock in without being harassed, without being intimidated, without being killed. Until then, trust the Igbo to the detriment of your people. They tell you they develop Lagos, they develop every major city in Nigeria. That is their way. And this time around, confront Igbo man. They will remind you what they happened in Nigerian Biafra war. This is because they lose. And each time they tell you this, they are everywhere around the world planning on how to strike Nigeria again. That is why you see them. They have the political wing. They do not see IPOB political wing. They are the one trying to use some of our senators in the South against our people. Don't you see IPOB terrorist group like the unknown gunmen? They are the one using to terrorize their people. If we have not responded by now, they will rubbish our land. This is my community. This is midnight. This is midnight. I'm not afraid. Nobody's coming to harass me. Nobody's going to ask me anything. Because they know it's not in our nature to do those rubbish. Everybody is ready. But then, we cannot lay down our guard. We cannot pretend we are not seeing this threat. And because assumption does not have legal backup in the law court, I will not be assuming. We need to be getting ready. Because by the time they will strike, maybe they will use Ikwere man. Maybe they will use Igbo man. Some Igbo people saw this truth and they say they are not Igbo. You must respect that. Some people saw this truth and they back up. I was with these Igbo people. I knew everything they were planning. In order to shut me down, they took me to Ibino Babe, Arochukwu Shrine, and other shrine. See, you can't betray the Igbo. I told their deity, you will not betray my people. Because when the leaders are dishonorable, according to divine law and providence, the people are removed from under obligation, every cause to break the law. Let me break it down. When you take an oath to defend something, and those who are leading that group break the law, you are not under any obligation to obey them. And so naturally, even their juju of heaven and earth cannot get me. I saw them plan this evil. I witnessed them talk. How they're going to hit Hausa head with a Fulani head together. I witnessed them plan how they are going to hit Bini head and Isha head. I witnessed them when they begin to raise Abo people to bring me down when I become a threat. Because to them, they have finished me. They did their job well. But what they did not count on is my ability to make a comeback. I am making a comeback. I will not leave them until they pull out of my territory. This is their evil plan. Until they pull out, we will not leave them. We are the true watchmen of our people. They are not supposed to know us. I do not want to leave the sin unseen, unknown. That is why I come out online. If not, none of you will know me. But you see, they will not be allowed to sell the next generation of our people. I'm going to make a comprehensive report. Some of the things Ahmadu Bello saw and begin to raise alarm about Igbo people. But he was a little bit too late, because while he was making this complaint, not everybody agreed. Hausa were fully in love with the Igbos. So it was a hate speech. Before they knew, all their leaders has been killed. The same thing we are telling you, South people, Igbo people have agenda. And some of you will say, oh, because he was with them, they offended him. Yes, they did not offend me. I'm only giving them back the same energy they give to me. But in between me reciprocating to their hopelessness, that does not make the threat absent. And when they see that they don't have enough time, they will strike all of you. The only defense outpost we have now is our monarch. Our senators are falling one after the other. And I know they will come for our monarchs, but we will be waiting for them. More of Okpanan is gone. It's not necessary we begin to look for why she died. She has moved on. Any king from Anyoma land, any king from Ikwere land, you have any dealing with these Igbo people concerning your territory, they will overrun you. There are many things they are doing. We will not come on social media and begin to see all of them, but we will be here waiting for them. But this threat is real. Nigerians should know better. South people should open their eyes. A simple thing. Every other region in Nigeria left their door open for Igbo people. And Igbo people, on the other hand, closed their region against every other tribe. We cannot forget the history of the Trojan horse. We cannot understand that subtleness, that embracing they are giving to us. They have a dagger in their chest and they will kill us. It is left for us how we defend our people. It is left for us how we view this issue. Nigerians will not have an issue. Everybody relax. Igbo people like soldier ants begin to crawl into everywhere. When they enter, they pregnant your sister. When they enter, they use one of their sisters to trap you. When they enter, but they are using it to infiltrate your people. But if they lie, why are they afraid of other people coming into their region? Now, to stop the federal government from getting money from their region, every Monday they will tell you they are doing sit at home. Why are the ones in other states still doing business? They know how they run their parole. They are the ones that have transport company. So they do their way bill. They plan among themselves how to cripple the nation economy through sit at home. They will tell you they are doing it to Southeast. What about the federal government road that pass through the Southeast? Do you know if you are in the Southeast, if you are a Nigerian today, any Monday that is sit at home, that there is no motor that will carry you for business purposes? Do you know any of you that will run across Southeast on a sit-at-home day that your life may not be safe? And so what about those of you who had something to do? You are in Rivers State and you have a business in Delta State and you must pass through Anambra, you must pass through Imo, maybe you must pass through Abia, and they say they are doing sit-at-home. How does that affect your region? But we are all in Nigeria. Would it not have been better all of us in the Southeast begin to do our own sit-at-home? Where Igbo people will begin to close their shop, let us sit at home. Because watch their senator, watch their people, they are not talking about the sit at home, how it affects fellow Nigeria. They are telling you that their king, their savior, their God is illegally detained. If not that their criminality, hypocrisy was exposed on time, with what they were planning with IPOB today, it would have set Nigeria ablaze. But then we already know the truth. And so the moment they change their pattern, we as well reactivated. So I ask you again, why is Igbo people fencing a part of Nigeria to be their own? And in most cases, looking at the history of the Igbos, we are going to pay more attention to find out who these people are. This group of Igbo people that say they come from Israel. I know that everybody that is saying Bia is not Igbo. In Abia State, I know Igbere people are not the regular Igbo, you know. Igbere people, Ojis or Kalo them village, they are not regular Igbo. Go and ask Bende people or Item people. They will tell you. I didn't know this before. I've worked for many Abia State politicians. And during the time of Ojis or Kalo, I worked for his house, civil engineer, both his mother's house, even T.O. Oje, even their permanent secretary. I'm instrumental to certain architectural design in their homes. And in one of those instances, I asked a question from somebody from Bende, Item to be precise. Why is it that it's only this community that is producing governor? And that is before Okezie Ekpazo and Alesuti, who is from Arochukwu, Okezie Ekpazo from Mungwa. The rest of them are Mbere people. The guy opened my eyes. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not lie. And they begin to fight to make sure that no Igbiri person will get there. Again, Alesoti is not there because he want to be there. They don't, instead of Igbiri to be there, at least Alesoti, who is partly Ngwa and partly Arochukwu, should be there. But we know all this game. And so when you are Igbo man, we are trying to save you. Where is Abreba people? Are they Igbo people? Are they Igbo people? I am asking you to pay attention to Igbo people. What led to the Igbo coup was the broadcast of Ahmadu Bello. Igbo took over their life. This is my community. As I'm talking to you, we see everything they are doing. In less than a kilometer from where I am, was where one idiot say he's Igbo and forming a meeting to unite Abo people. A message came from the palace that they need Abo man to be part of their meeting. We must know what they are discussing in the meeting. They said we don't have the right. The guy practically insulted the Obi of Abo that led him to receive slap. What are they afraid of? But somebody will say, how do you know? I was with them when we were doing Biafra. We could access everywhere, as even church. I told you what happened in Benin, where we gathered. The population of people that came to that program in Benin, we took over the community. Another neighbor saw people trooping in from every corner, and they alerted the police. And the police did came. But you see, they did not find anything wrong that we were doing, actually. But what they did not know is that that formation, that discussion, was not for the purpose of the unity of Nigeria. Because Biafra was to topple the government of the day, create a unnecessary state of insecurity. And then Igbo people will have their way and tell you, yes, you see Nnamdi Kanu telling you, we have guns in Benin. Benin people carry the gun, kill the police, destroy the police. But little did he know that all this framework was going to die gradually. And now, I need you to go back and ask yourself, why is the Igbo, number one, always insulting everybody? Why do they like to blackmail other tribes? And when you reciprocate, they begin to cry, he hate Igbo, they hate us, they do this. Do we allow them to destroy us before we call a spade a spade? I say, ask yourself, why is Igbo people everywhere in other people community? They are into real estate. That is the next way they are using to steal money. Nigerian anti-graft agency like the DSS, the EFCC, the ICPC, even the NAFDAC, the NDLEA. This is time for all of you to put your eye into real estate. Some real estate is just a drug empire. Some real estate is just to hide stolen money of Nigerians. The real estate is what they are using to penetrate different community. And what will be happening in that real estate later, you will not know. Put eye on real estate. That is where Igbo people are going to. Watch the people uniting in the Igbo now. They're now starting coming out with real estate because they see they cannot come out as Igbo unity beggar anymore. We can't let them to fool us. As I'm talking to you now, there is one they call Brain Boss. There is another one called Undoka. They are in my inbox, bombarding me with insult. To their mind, they want to distract me. But we already know the truth. We will admit them in this their game. We will undo them. And so, to cut this long story short, fellow Nigerians, ask Igbo people to open up their region to like every other region, open up for them. Until then, you must suspect everything they are doing. Onye agbo kan wo, agbo ya kwe no mom ya ke no swe. We henim. Nele nedi won the agbo. I am a pure blood, undiluted. But I hope you understand. We will continue. We are not going down. Have a nice day. And Igbo people, please drop your insult so that other Nigerians can actually know you people who are doing this thing. If I make a broadcast now, I begin to insult Yoruba, Yoruba will not talk. They will try to find out what the problem is, and they will solve it. That is why the issue of Sunday Igboho was calmed down without any noise. Hausa will not do the same thing. They know how to call their people to order. But you see the Igbo, they will blame everybody. They will blame God. They will blame Lord Lugard. They will blame Mary Slessor. They will blame their father. They will blame anybody. They're perfect in that. And the next thing you hear, Igbophobia. But Igbo people, when are we going to hear Yorubaphobia? When are we going to hear Hausaphobia? Kerone, no say sorry, they hate Igbo, they hate Igbo, they hate Igbo. So that people will begin to feel for you. I can only pity those people who say they are Igbo and they are not aware of this plan. We are not going anywhere until we stop you from destroying our culture, our tradition, our heritage, ultimately our value system. I remain George Onibe. Have a pleasant night rest.